Hi guys, it's Yongxin Hu. Welcome back to the 28 Days Eat with Hu's Kitchen video series. Today is day 14. Today is the last theme of our So today I'm gonna give you guys a British inspired theme. So today's breakfast, lunch and dinner all inspired by British cuisine. Before we start, make sure you have subscribed to my channel and give my videos a like. If you like any of my recipe, don't forget share with your friends. If you want to know what's gonna happen next week, make sure you tap the notification bell. Now, let's get a breakfast started. So this morning, I'm gonna teach you guys make one of my favorite breakfast biscuits. It's actually inspired by the Jaffa cake. The Jaffa cake was first introduced in 1927 in Britain. So today, the recipe I'm gonna give you guys is actually a low-calorie, diet-friendly, super healthy recipe. If you are on diet, want something sweet and treat yourself, this is a recipe for you. The first thing I'm gonna do for my Jaffa cake, we are going to use some sugar-free jelly powder here. Here I'm using an orange flavor. And for this specific Jaffa cake recipe, I'm gonna give you guys, don't follow the instruction at the back. If you want to use the full pack, and you only need to put in half of a pint of boiling hot water. So first of all, we need some boiling hot water. I have boiled my kettle, and now I'm gonna put the powder in my glass jug. And then we are going to add half of a pint of boiling hot water. Now I'm going to pour some boiling hot water in my jug, and we only need half pint. Then we are going to give it a quick stir. Make sure all the powder is dissolved. I have got a mold from Lakeland, so basically it's the right size for my Jaffa cake topper. So for example, if you say you haven't got any mold like this at home, you can always use your baking tray. So just a thin baking tray will do. And after the jelly is cool, you can always use, for example, pastry cutter or gingerbread cutter to cut small circle out. So in that way, it will be as good. Right, let's quickly pour the mixture in before they set. Now I'm going to let them cool in the room temperature for about 2 to 3 minutes. Just let all the bubbles go away. And then when we put it in the fridge, they will set without any bubbles. We are going to leave them in the fridge for at least an hour. The mold we're using, each circle is really small, so potentially our jelly is going to be set in about an hour. So if you say you're going to use a baking tray which all the jelly stick together, and you might need slightly longer to set your jelly. So basically we are going to get them out whenever your jelly is set. If you follow the instruction I gave to you guys earlier, the amount of jelly powder, you're only supposed to make probably around 11 or 12 jellies. And here I just use my cocktail stick, lose the edge of the mold, so I can just get my jelly out fairly easy. So cute. I'm gonna put it on a plate now. And now I'm gonna go away and quickly get all of them out. So here I got all of my jellies out. They are super cute. I'm gonna leave them on the side for now. And because now I'm going to make the most important part of the Jaffa cake. So the cake itself. Now I'm gonna preheat my oven to 180 degrees Celsius with fan or 200 without. Now I'm gonna save in 50 grams of self-raising flour into my bowl. Now I'm gonna leave my flour on the side as well, and I'm going to crack 2 eggs in my glass bowl. Now I'm gonna add in 4 tablespoons of granulated sweeteners. So it's something like that. 4 tablespoons in my glass bowl. Now I'm going to use our electric whisk to whisk it. I whisk my egg mixture about 5 minutes. So it's done now. I can show you guys why it's done. If, for example, if I try to get some mixture on my whisk, and then I can literally see where it goes. So if I try to draw 8 here, you can literally see my 8. That's how we know it's done. And now I'm going to add in some orange extract. So we are going to add in 1 teaspoon of orange extract. You can use vanilla extract or chocolate extract. So whatever, go with the Jaffa cake. Right. 1 teaspoon orange extract. Then I'm going to carefully fold in my flour. Here I'm going to use my spatula to carefully fold in my flour mixture. So carefully fold in. So I think my mixture is well combined now. So now I'm going to get my mold out again. I'm going to use some Fry Light butter flavored oil spray here, and I'm going to spray my mold with it a little bit. Side right. Then I'm going to spoon in my mixture. Now I'm going to pop my Jaffa cake mixture in the oven, and yeah, it's ready now. And because they're quite small, so I'm going to pop them in for about 8 minutes, no more than 10 minutes I would say, and keep an eye on them until the top is slightly brown, and then we can take them off. My Jaffa cake's done, and I just got them out of the oven, and now I'm gonna get them out, and I thought I might as well give you guys some tips. So you can use a cocktail stick, basically. If you just put the cocktail stick in them, and they literally come out straight away. Now I'm going to let them cool for a bit, about 5 minutes. It depends on how big is your Jaffa cake. Then we are going to put the Jaffa cake and the jelly together. Now my Jaffa cakes have cooled, so I'm going to pick one of them. So basically I'm going to chop the top off, because we are going to sit the orange jelly on top of them. So we are going to create a smooth surface. They are fairly delicate, so be careful with them, be gentle. Like that. Then I'm going to use one of my orange jelly, put it on top. It's like that. And then I'm going to quickly make all of them. Here are my Jaffa cake, sort of done, not 100% yet, because we still need chocolate. So here I'm gonna use about 25 grams of white chocolate. So the chocolate here is the cooking chocolate. You can use, dark chocolate, white chocolate, and whichever chocolate you fancy. Now I'm gonna use one of my microwave safe pot. Put my chocolate in it, and then I'm gonna pop them in the microwave for about 45 seconds each, and stir them and pop in for another 45, and then they will be melted. Then I'm going to put them in a piping bag, and I'm gonna pipe on top of my Jaffa cake. So I have got my chocolate out of the microwave. I have popped them in the piping bag. So I'm gonna cut a tiny cut off the bottom, and then I'm going to pop it through it. After I drizzle some chocolate on top of my Jaffa cake, here is my homemade low-calorie Jaffa cake. Now it's the most important part. Try my breakfast. So I'm gonna pick one which I think is quite unique and cute. Oh, look at that. I think I'm just gonna put the whole thing in my mouth in one go. I think it's quite tummy. Right. I'm gonna try it right now. Honestly, they taste amazing. They taste absolutely amazing. You can't tell it's low calorie. They are actually diet friendly. If you are on diet, that will definitely be the dessert you're going for. I definitely recommend you guys give it a try. It's so good, so tasty, so cute. Right, now I'm gonna enjoy my breakfast with a cup of coffee. I will see you guys at the lunchtime. Bye. Hi guys, it's Yongxin Hu. Welcome back. It's lunchtime. For today's lunch, I'm gonna give you guys one of my signature recipes, the cheese scone recipe. Honestly, I have been asked for this recipe so many times, so I thought I may as well share it with everybody because this recipe is so good. If you follow my recipe precisely, you can definitely make it, no problem at all. Right, let's not waste more time. Let's get everything started straight away. So first of all, we are going to need some self-raising flour here. So if you say you don't have any self-raising flour, or because of the pandemic you can't get hold of any, I can teach you guys how to make your own self-raising flour from plain flour. So basically, you can use 125 grams of plain flour plus 1 teaspoon of baking powder plus a quarter teaspoon of salt. If you mix all of them together, that will be your self-raising flour. So I have tried and used normal self-raising flour and the homemade self-raising flour to make my cheese scone, and they both works, so they're just equally good. So we are going to need 450 grams of self-raising flour here. Then we are going to add 2 teaspoons of baking powder. Then I'm going to add a quarter of a teaspoon of salt. On top of everything, I'm going to add half teaspoon of cayenne pepper. So for the cayenne pepper here is totally optional. So to make sure all the ingredients are well combined, so I'm going to sieve it twice. So basically I'm going to use another bowl. So sieve it from my glass bowl to another bowl and then sieve it back. So basically sieve it twice. cover that again with flour. Right, so the next thing I'm gonna do here, I will need 110 grams of butter. So because we are making a cheese scone and it's like a savory scone, so it doesn't matter if you're using salted butter or unsalted butter. Honestly, I tried both. It's not much different on the taste. Just if you use salted butter and the scone will taste slightly saltier, that's it. Right, here I'm gonna weigh 110 grams of butter. That will do. So I'm gonna put my butter in my flour bowl. So we are going to use the fingertips only to combine the flour and the butter. So basically we are going to make some, it's kind of like a breadcrumbs sort of texture. I'm just going to quickly mix all of my flour with the butter I put in. Remember, only use your fingertips. So I think my mixture is quite combined. So basically, if you shake your bowl, if no big lump come up, that means it's well combined. So here I'm going to add in some cheese. So basically, we are going to add in 200 grams of cheese, and here I'm just going to use some red and cheddar cheese. So here I'm going to use 200 grams of cheese. Perfect. Then I'm going to give everything a quick mix. Then I'm going to transfer my mixture into a bigger bowl, because next step we are going to add in milk. Here we are going to need 220 milliliters of milk, and here you can use full-fat milk, semi-skimmed, skimmed, it doesn't matter. Honestly, I tried all different type of milk and the outcome all the same. Right. Here I got 220 milliliters of full-fat milk. Next tip will be, don't put all of the milk in the same time, so we are going to add bit by bit. Potentially the amount of milk you need will be between 160 milliliters of milk to 220, because obviously like we're all using different type of flour and different type of cheese, so the amount of milk you need here will be different. We are going to add in a tiny bit first, and then I'm going to give a quick mix. Then I'm going to add in a tiny bit more. You are just going to, continually combine them until it becomes a dough. Before we start to do anything, we are going to preheat our oven to 180 degrees Celsius with fan or 200 without. Right, now my mixture is well combined. I'm going to dust my work surface with some self-raising flour and put my mixture here. You can see it's already combined as a dough. So I'll quickly clean the bowl. And we are going to quickly work with it a little bit. Once it's not as wet or sticky anymore. I'm going to roll it out a little bit. So basically here we are going to roll it to about 2 centimeters thickness. So here, I'm going to use the pastry cutter, and for this recipe, you have to use pastry cutter because from my personal experiments, if you use pastry cutter, your scone will rise higher. If you use some normal dodgy circle round bowl or glass, your scone won't rise, or will only rise tiny bit. So that's another tip for you guys. Yeah, so not sure if you guys can see. I'm using the pastry cutter, which is about the same size as my fist, because I want my scone quite big. Here, I'm going to put some baking paper on my baking tray. Then I'm going to start cutting my scones, since I'm happy with how thick is my dough. Here are my 8 scones. So for the bits, we cut off of the scones and we can re-roll it and then roll it to the thickness we want again, and then we can make more scone of it. My oven is at the temperature now. I'm going to use some milk and to brush my scones. So basically, I'm just going to pour some milk out. And I'm just going to brush the top of the scone like this. So as you can see, I have 2 trays of scones here. I'm only going to brush one for now because only this tray going to go in. After I brush the milk, and now I'm going to top the scone off with extra cheese. So I'm going to just drizzle some on the top, like that. Now I'm going to put them in the oven and for about 10 to 12 minutes. Just keep your eyes on your scones. So it has been 11 minutes and I got my scones out, and as you guys can see, now I'm going to transfer them on my cooling rack and let them cool a little bit. Yeah, be careful, they are still really hot. I finally got all of my scones out and they are cool now. So now I'm gonna show you guys what it looks like inside. Also, I'm gonna try one. So I actually made a baker's dozen today because there are 13 of them. So yeah, I can have one to try. I sliced one scone open already because I want to have a look what it looks like inside. I'm gonna show you guys. Look at all of those cheese. Look amazing, absolutely amazing. Right, now it's the most important part, try my lunch. So I put some butter on my scone already. I'm just gonna give it a bite now. Honestly, they are amazing. Normally, when I'm playing on PS4, I can literally eat 6 to 8 of them because they are that good. They are absolutely amazing. I definitely recommend you guys give it a try, and I guarantee you, you will love them as much as I did. Now, I'm gonna enjoy my lunch. I will see you guys at the dinner time. Bye! Hi guys, it's Yongxin Hu. Welcome back. It's finally dinner time. So for tonight, I'm going to teach you guys make one of my most favorite British food. It's the Yorkshire pudding. So for a brilliant Yorkshire pudding recipe, you only need 3 ingredients. So you will need milk, flour, and eggs. As a bonus, we are not going to make any small Yorkshire today. We are going to make a massive joint Yorkshire pudding here. Then from there, I will show you guys how you can make your joint Yorkshire pudding into a wrap. Let's not waste more time. I'm going to get everything started now. The first thing I'm going to do here, I'm going to crack 8 eggs in my glass bowl. So as normal, probably the tip I give you guys already, I normally crack my egg in a separate small pot, just in case if there are any bad eggs, we can spill it straight away. So we are going to make quite a lot of Yorkshire pudding today. So if you say like there are less people in your household or you only want to try 1 or 2 to see if it's working, you can halve the recipe. Now I'm going to weigh my flour, and here we are going to use plain flour, and we are going to use 280 grams of plain flour. Just zero my scale and quickly pop some flour into my bowl. So 280. Right. So now I'm going to give my eggs a whisk. Now we are going to sieve in our flour. I'm going to beat them to a smooth consistency. Shall we pause it and you beat it? I think my mixture is fairly smooth now. Now I'm going to add in the milk. Then I'm going to add 400 milliliters of full fat milk. So here we are going to add in tiny bit first, just to loosen up the butter. And you can see the butter is much smoother now after we add in the milk. Now I'm going to add in the remaining milk and beat everything together. Now I'm going to transfer my batter into my jug, and I'm going to leave it to rest on my bench for half of an hour. It has been 20 minutes. Now I'm going to preheat my oven to just under your maximum temperature. So on our oven here, and the maximum temperature 250 degrees Celsius. So I'm going to put it just under that. So probably will be about 240-ish. And also, for a brilliant Yorkshire pudding, you will need crispy and dry, the hard block. So it's kind of like a butter, but it's made from the crispy and dry oil. Because it's a solid oil and the burning point is higher, so we use this on our Yorkshire pudding, and that will make your Yorkshire pudding rise higher as well. So from our experiment, so for the perfect ratio here, you will need 12 grams of the crispy and dry. So we are using the 8 inches sandwich tin, and I'm going to put in on my scale, and then I'm going to weigh 12 grams of crispy and dry here. So here is exactly 12 grams. And now I'm going to put the tin in the oven. So when your oil is smoking, and that's when the tin is ready, the oil is ready, that's also when we are going to pour the mixture. So now I'm going to put my sandwich tin in the oven. Another perfect ratio for this recipe is your mixture. And here we are going to use 180 grams per Yorkshire pudding. While my crisp and dry is in the oven to heat up, I'm going to use a few drops here. So when they are ready, I'm just going to pour all the mixture in the same time. And then we'll show you another tip how to make a brilliant Yorkshire pudding. So at this point, we are going to weigh 180. Oh, before I pour my mixture, actually, I'm going to give it a quick whisk. Just in case any flour, already sat at the bottom. So let's quickly whisk everybody and wake everybody up. Right, that's fine. Because we only put in 2 tins at the moment, and I'm only gonna need 2 of them. So if you have more tins and your oven got more space, you can always prepare more. And once again, here we are using 8 inches sandwich tin. If your tin is slightly bigger or slightly smaller, you might want to adjust the recipe a little bit. So I still got some time here, and I'm gonna use this time to prepare some vegetables. So tonight we are going to have some carrot and some broccoli, some frozen peas, some sweet corn from the can straight away, and on top of everything, and I'm going to have some steak on my Yorkshire pudding, and we'll also have some stuffing on Tim's Yorkshire pudding. Here for your topping or filling, it really depends on your personal preference. You can chuck in whatever you want as long as they are making sense. For example, if you say you're gonna chuck some banana in and some prawns, I will probably say, yeah, you might want to give it a try, but it won't taste nice. So my crisp and dry looks smoky in my oven now. So I'm going to get them out now. I'm going to show you guys the next tip what to do with make a brilliant Yorkshire pudding. So I'm going to get, oh god, right. So I'm going to get one out now, and I'm going to quickly pour the mixture in, and then I'm going to spin it around and then pop it back in straight away. Second one, we do the same. So quickly and quickly spin it around and then go in. And here we are going to leave our Yorkshire pudding in there for about 8 to 10 minutes, depends on the size of Yorkshire. Obviously, you need to keep an eye on them. If you see the Yorkshire start to turn golden or too brown, probably you need to get them out. Right, guys, I just had a quick look in my oven, and the Yorkshire is fairly brown now. So before I turn on the camera, I got them out already. So you guys can see, like, they are absolutely massive and the perfect, brilliant Yorkshire pudding. So now I'm going to quickly make more, and at the same time I'm going to get them on my cooling rack to cool, and that will be the base of our Yorkshire pudding wrap. Everything for my Yorkshire pudding wrap is ready, and my Yorkshire puddings, yeah, they are cool now. Here I'm going to place a piece of tin foil at the bottom, and then I'm going to put on a piece of baking paper on top of tin foil. Then I'm going to put in my Yorkshire pudding. I'm going to have a small one, I think. Right, and then I'm going to add in some broccolis. Really healthy, so I'm going to add a little bit more. Yeah, broccolis and a spoon of my vegetable mix. So we got some sweet corn and some frozen pea and some carrot. Then I'm going to have like a few slices of roasted beef. A little bit more. Like a really meaty. Right. Then I'm going to add in the gravy. Moment of truth. I'm going to now I'm going to open it. So, for example, if you say, right, you need to go out somewhere or you have to go to work, the tin foil will keep your Yorkshire pudding wrap warm. And obviously, if you say you want it, leave it on the side, waiting for somebody finish work, come home, eat it, tin foil can keep the temperature as well. So, dun 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 dun! Here is my homemade Yorkshire pudding wrap. Let me show you guys. See all the vegetables and all the beef, carrots, broccolis and sweet corns all in there. Now, it's the most important part. Try my Yorkshire pudding wrap. Right, I'm gonna give a big bite because I think I stuffed quite a lot of things in here. Mmm! 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 I can literally eat the Yorkshire pudding wrap every day and 3 times a day, no problem at all. This freshly homemade Yorkshire pudding is just so soft and so thin, and with all the vegetables and meat and gravy inside, it's a genius. Honestly guys, definitely try this recipe. It's so easy to follow, so easy to make. Make it your own. Now I'm going to enjoy my dinner. Make sure you like this video, subscribe to my channel, and tap the bell if you want to know what's going on next week. Right, I will see you guys tomorrow. Bye.